Versus Terence Crawford. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you guys like the video. Also subscribe to the channel. Just hit 54,000 followers on Instagram today, so appreciate all the love and support. 2017 will be a great year for some, not all. Now, I just posted this graphic I made, Ego Graphics, about an hour ago, 300 likes, and it was reported by the Manila Bulletin that Manny Pacquiao wants $20 million guaranteed to fight Terence Bud Crawford if he were to fight him. Now, it's not signed or official or anything like that, but he's saying, according to his advisor, Michael Conks, who he's been put in place by Pacquiao, so that's an authoritative representative of Team Pacquiao. Conks is saying that Pacquiao needs $20 million guaranteed to fight Terence Crawford. And I want to talk about that in this particular video. I posted it, so you guys are already in the comment section speaking on it as we speak. And it's what I told you guys, man. Like, we got the brilliant thing about YouTube. And actually, YouTube, did you guys know it was founded in the Bay Area where I'm at? Well, not exactly where I'm at, but in San Bruno. And the brilliant thing about YouTube is it documents stuff. So the videos I made, they stay up. You know what I mean? I have too many videos to be going through and deleting videos. And some people say, oh, you're deleting my comment. I don't delete comment. I don't have time to go. I get way too many. So the videos are still up. And I made several videos on this topic. 5 months ago, Manny Pacquiao says yes to Terence Crawford per Aram, right? This is what Bob Arum said. He said yes then. This was after the Victor Postal fight. And then Pacquiao went on to fight Jesse Vargas. So that obviously, that yes didn't really mean anything. 1 month ago, Manny Pacquiao versus Terence Crawford, the collision course we all want to see, right? 5 months ago, Freddie Roach wants Manny Pacquiao to avoid Terence Crawford next fight. And the list, 4 months ago, why Pacquiao avoided Terence Crawford for Vargas. And the list goes on and on and on. 4 months ago, Pacquiao advisor admits ducking Terence Crawford. I don't like Crawford's style. Doesn't suit Manny. Crawford, 4 months ago. Team Crawford was never offered Manny Pacquiao fight at any weight class. Because there were people saying, oh, move up to 147. Crawford's ducking, right? Several videos again. I mean, it's looking bad. We're 2 days into the new year, and it's looking real bad for some of y'all casuals. Because 4 or 5 months ago, when I'm doing these videos, there's resistance. People are like, no, why would Pacquiao avoid Crawford? You're lying. 222 would never avoid Crawford. What does it look like at this point? Let's cut the semantics. The link in the description if you want to read it. It's from Michael Conks. And first of all, and I've said this in those videos, but I'll say it once again, Team Pacquiao is all over the place. There are people in position that represent Pacquiao's career, and they're saying a multitude of different things, right? So me as a reporter, a boxing fan, you can't fault me for saying, hey, that's not what you said 2 months ago or 5 months ago, right? This is not my fault. I didn't make him say. Freddie Roach is the one that got on the horn and said, Pacquiao's a small dude. He can make 135. He can make 140. Okay, why is he fighting at welterweight then? You know what I mean? And then people were like, oh, Crawford needs to move up to welterweight. That Pacquiao's the bigger star. He's the A side. You know what I'm saying? And I never even heard Crawford say, I won't move to welterweight for a Pacquiao shot. I was at Crawford's last 2 fights, Postal and also the John Molina fight in Omaha. Shout out to Omaha. And they talked about Pacquiao. He's not big. Crawford is kind of like Danny Garcia was when people were mentioning him to possibly fight Floyd Mayweather. He says, I'm down. I want the fight. It's a big fight. It's a legend. But they're not going to beg for the fight. And I honestly, at this point, I wish Crawford would actually not beg, obviously, but get more vocal about getting the fight. You see what it did for Cannon Briggs. This man terrorized people, and now he's getting a title shot. So, you know what I mean? Maybe that's what it requires. And I know Crawford got dogging and paused. So, I don't think it's above him to call out Pacquiao. Like, yeah, I respect him. I want the fight. I'm not saying he has to badmouth Pacquiao or anything like that, but it would be nice to see Crawford get more vocal. Like, man, I want that fight. Put some pressure to these boys. Like like some other fighter. Like Errol Spence, I think he's putting a lot of pressure on the division. He's vocal. He's saying, I want this guy. I want Kell Brook. Man down. Title shot next. You know what I'm saying? And I think Crawford needs to get on the horn on his social media and keep putting that out there. Put the pressure to it and make this situation a talked about issue. That's my personal take. But I mean, what does it look like? Let's cut all the BS, like Canelo said. Cut the bullshit. We don't fuck around, right? What does it look like if Michael Conk, somebody who's appointed by Pacquiao, a longtime advisor for Pacquiao, is saying he wants $20 million guaranteed? $20 million? God damn! Who you think you fighting? Chelsea Clinton? Chelsea Carter? Cindy Crawford? Come on, man, come on. Like who? Like $20 million guaranteed? Wow. You didn't get that. I know Pacquiao didn't get that guaranteed for Jesse Vargas. So, I mean, the signs and the writing is on the wall, right? They know it's a dangerous fight. I'm not saying they can't even win it, but they know it's dangerous. And they know the Crawford style, stylistically, that type of person, especially since he's a switch hitter and he can go from left to right, and he's arguably better in the southpaw stance, and Manny Pacquiao is a southpaw. They know the implications of that fight, and it's very clear to me that at this point, Senator Pacquiao is aware of the dangers, and if he's going to take that danger, he wants to get cashed out royally. You know what I mean? $20 million. I don't really see that being like, okay, you got $20 million to fight Bradley, put up horrible numbers in the third Bradley fight. You know what I mean? Bob Arum, his words exactly for the Bradley 3 numbers, terrible, not good. That's exactly what he said in interviews, and I quote, right? So Crawford didn't do good numbers with Postal, $50,000. So where's this $20 million guarantee coming from? Where do you think you're going to get $20 million to fight Terence Crawford? And this is precisely, and I might even have to go Ego Veli, the resurrection still I rise. Because this is getting ridiculous in boxing with not even just what's happening in boxing, it's just the fans. The fans. Broner and Danny Garcia allegedly turned down $3 to $4 million to fight Pacquiao, and fans got on their case like, Broner's a bitch, he don't want to fight him, Danny's scared, and all this stuff. But you have Pacquiao, who is a legend, and he's saying, I need $20 million to fight Terence Crawford. Crawford had one attempt at pay-per-view, which most boxing fans thought that fight was a great fight but shouldn't be on pay-per-view. Why would Pacquiao get a guaranteed $20 million? Okay, you got it for Bradley, and it wasn't worth it because, like I said, Bob Arum said the numbers were terrible, not good. So Bradley was, I guess you could say, a little bit more established of a name then because he had 2 previous fights with Pacquiao, and he had the epic fight of the year type with Ruslan Provodnikov, and he's been around. He's a little bit older than Terence Crawford is right now, right? So he'd been linked to Amir Khan and stuff. People knew his name. He beat Devin Alexander, etc., Lamont Peterson. So you got it for that fight. Why would you get $20 million for this particular fight? And I'm not saying, I don't care. Like I said, I don't care if he gets 50 million, 40 million, but I'm just talking from a point of view of where do you think that money is coming from? Like, where are you going to get that much money from fighting Crawford? That just sounds like a way out. And if you do take the fight, you want to get paid top dollar. Really put this in perspective. Pacquiao, Mayweather, before Manny got knocked out by Marquez, they tried negotiating multiple times. The first time with the drug test, Pacquiao didn't want to do it. Cool. Okay, so it died down. Then Floyd Mayweather called Pacquiao, I'm TBE. Can I speak to Pacquiao? Easy work, Pat. Listen, like I said before, I'm going to give you $40 million. I'll take all the pay-per-view back-end money. And then Pacquiao passed off the phone. Pacquiao was like, bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I believe that offer is that bullshit. So he, you know what I mean, passed the phone off to whoever was in the room. That's the way the story goes. Floyd offered you a flat rate, basically, of $40 million, which at that time would have been a career high payday for Manny Pacquiao, right? So just to put it into perspective, that's Floyd Mayweather we're talking about. Undefeated, 19 years in the game, 19 years strong, undefeated. Crawford's undefeated. But it's Floyd. Floyd has done the livest gates. I beat Oscar De La Hoya. You know what I mean? He promotes the fight. I beat Ricky Hatton when he was undefeated. Right? All of this. So you're getting half, or you're asking half of what you got offered by Floyd Mayweather that you did not take, might I add, to fight Terence Crawford. Half. Floyd was offering you $40 million. You didn't take it. But you want half of that to fight Terence Crawford. It doesn't make sense to me. You know what I mean? If you were wanted $20 million for a fighter who had the name that could give you, like, you know what I mean, like Canelo, Broner, maybe, you know what I mean, someone who would give you, like, we know it'd be a huge event. This is a good fight for boxing, and we could see if the old dog still has it, or it's the passing of the torch. Good fight for boxing. I don't know that it would be the hugest blockbuster. Like, I don't think it would be anything close to like Mayweather, Canelo, or anything like that. It would just be a good fight. Boxing purists, some casuals, things like that. Very good fight. And it's just crazy to me. Like, it's not a good year for some of y'all, and it merely goes from telling the truth. What did Will Smith say in Concussion? Stop lying. Tell the truth. Tell the truth. Tell the truth, right? And I made these videos 4 and 5 months ago. Freddie Rhodes wants Manny Pacquiao to avoid. The writing has always been on the wall. They do not want to fight this guy. I mean, who says Pacquiao advisor admits to ducking Michael Conks? Crawford, I don't like his style. That's as a combatant in a fighting sport, that is perhaps one of the lamest excuses. That's like a fighter. See, this is how I always break down stuff. Look at the exact opposite of what they're saying. Like, boxing, okay, it's full of runners and people that use their feet, and chickens and pillow-fisted guys who want to use their skill. Stupid dummies that want to run around the ring and all this stuff and jab, 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 tap, tap. Right? Okay, fine. So what would be the polar opposite of that? A one-dimensional brawler, somebody who has just menacing power, come forward, brings the fight to you. Now, the way you always flip it is reverse engineering. So, okay, I get it. Runners are runners and boring and no one wants to pay to see that. Yeah, cool. So the polar opposite of that would be a brawler, somebody who has power and coming forward to you. So use that same logic that they use for quote unquote runners and guys who actually box and use skill, right? And use it for the puncher and tell me you would like it if a fighter said, man, I'm not fighting Sergey Crusher Kovalev. Look at his name. It sounds like he hitting hard. Crusher. He got too much power. I don't like that style. What would you guys say if Ward did that, for example? Said, I ain't fighting no dude named Crusher or Better Biev and all this, Superman, Stevenson. I ain't fighting them. It sounds like they got power. I don't like that style. You don't get to, this is not Blockbuster Video. You don't get to pick and choose who you want to fight, like, you know what I mean, like, or Netflix or something where you're like, what do I feel like watching? Stand-up comedy, a documentary? Do I want to watch a new release, cartoon, like action drama? Like, it's like you just get to pick who you want to fight. We don't like that style. That's silly style. It's not about that. Terence Crawford is climbing through the ranks, beating people impressively, people who've never been stopped, people who've never been beaten, stuff like that, and he's doing it. So he's climbing up the ladder. So it doesn't matter what you like and what you prefer. It matters what's right for boxing, your career, your legacy. I don't know. I think Pacquiao's team needs to get things in order. There's just a lot of just different stuff being said. Pacquiao can make 140. Okay, fight Crawford at 140. No, Crawford needs to come to 147. Okay, maybe Crawford's up to 147. I don't know. But why'd you say he can make 135, 140, right? Oh, we'll never fight this guy. We don't like his style. I mean, Canelo's team did it too. Not to throw him under the bus, but they said, oh, Willie Monroe, we don't like his style. We will never fight him. But at the end of the day, it shouldn't be about picking. That's what's wrong with boxing. And then the fans try to justify it. But the difference in the Canelo situation, he's a huge A-side, and this is his time right now. I mean, he lost to Floyd or whatever, but he's still bounced back and having some sharp wins and making noise in the game. So he's still like an A-side versus anybody, basically, except for like Floyd Mayweather, right? He would be the A-side. Even over Golovkin, he would be the A-side, right? So him fighting Willie Monroe, he can kind of sort of it's not right, but he can still find a way around that fight because it's really not that big of a fight. In the Willie Monroe versus Rosado performance, to me, that wasn't a fun fight to watch, and I expected a lot from it. So Canelo's team actually has a little bit of excuse. You can't use that same metric or the same belief system with Crawford, because not only is he winning, he can box, he comes out aggressive, and he's the banger. Some people say, oh, he's getting hit too much. And then when he fought Postal, oh, he's running too much. He could do it all. He's a complete fighter. He can fight however he wants to fight. You know what I'm saying? That's really what it is, and that's what you should be doing. You adapt. You adapt to who your opponent is. You know what I'm saying? This is like, did y'all play video games as kids? Like, if I'm playing Street Fighter and I'm using Chun-Li, I'm not getting close, super close. I'm gonna be bouncing all over the place because I'm faster than Zangief. You know what I'm saying? That I'm not trying to get power drive, and you know what I mean. You fight a tall fighter like Saget, Tiger, then you fight him a certain way because he's so tall. Maybe trip him, do this, do that. You know what I mean? Blanca's fast, just as fast as you. You fight him a certain way because he got the speed just like you. So that's what it is. You don't get to pick and choose. But bottom line is Crawford has been winning and winning impressively. It's not like Willie Monroe, like he won, but the Rosado fight wasn't that entertaining. Crawford's giving you knockouts. He's boxing people's ears off, like Postal knocking him down twice. So it's just crazy. And then, like I said, $20 million. What you think you got, Chelsea Clinton? Like that's a pretty steep amount. And this is how you can always tell is, when has Pacquiao just really ever declared how much he wants to get, or his team, how much he wants to get publicly before a fight? Like, I never seen articles like oh, we fight Jesse Vargas, man. We better at least get like 10, 11. We need 10, 11 million guaranteed. We ain't taking it. They just did the back room behind the scenes negotiation because they knew that Pacquiao stood a very good chance to beat the Jesse Vargas style. A guy who could box, a guy who could brawl, but ultimately he was a career 140 pounder. He beat Saddam Ali. That was a good win, but Saddam Ali was pretty unproven too at the elite level. He didn't fought like a Bradley or anybody like that. You know what I mean? They rode the wave off of that performance, made the fight. He was a champion, and they used that as an excuse, just like Canelo, Liam Smith. We knew that wasn't the best champion at that division. You know what I mean? In fact, I'm not even trying to throw shade, but most people would probably pick, like, would you pick Jesse Vargas to be the last man standing out of all the welterweight champions? Danny Garcia, Errol Spence, even though he's not a champion, but he's close. Kell Brook and Keith Thurman. Would you pick Jesse Vargas to beat all those guys? Probably not. Point. I rest my case. You know what I mean? And the bottom line is, Team Pacquiao knew that Pacquiao, even at this point, would probably fare well with that. It sounded like I was saying farewell. I confused myself. I'm like, goodbye, farewell, what? But he would fare well with that type of style with Jesse Vargas, even though Jesse Vargas had some height on him, newly champion. So they put him in that fight. They didn't publicly say, oh, we need this and that amount, but they're saying it for Crawford. Why? Because they know. I'm not saying that Pacquiao can't beat Crawford, because maybe he can. Maybe Crawford can't take his power. Pacquiao got thumped. But it's the writing's on the wall, and it's been on the wall. I've been look, why would I have made all these videos? And like I said, it's already not a good year for some of y'all, because y'all don't tell the truth, and you refuse to believe that your Lord and Savior, these fighters, not God, y'all treat these fighters like they're above criticism when it's deserving. You know what I'm saying? Pacquiao's a damn good fighter. It's not about bashing one fighter, but y'all aren't realistic. Look at this. I posted this an hour ago. First comment within literally, dude, bow. Like within literally like 30 seconds of me posting this. This whole post is, read it. Manny Pacquiao recently stated to the Manila Bulletin that he wants $20 million guaranteed to fight Terence Crawford. LOL. What did I tell y'all? Check my old YouTube videos on the subject. But anywho, what's your thoughts on this, and who wins? Pacquiao, Crawford. Ego graphics, right? 30 seconds later, I get a comment. Arum is the devil. What does Arum have to do with anything? You know what I'm saying? And that's what I said to dude. I said, what does Arum have to do with Pacquiao asking for $20 million? Next. And he says, "'Cause it's all lies. Pac asks for nothing. He lets Uncle Bob decide. Do you really think that Pac made 20 million plus in some of his recent fights? All lies for the media. They finally admitted he made 4 mil for Vargas. TR top rank is the devil incarnate." Like, what are you talking about? Oh yeah, Crawford taxed that ass late in the fight. What are you talking about? And again, it's all lies. Yet this was quoted from a Filipino-based news outlet, the Manila Bulletin, which the link is in the description, right? You guys can read the article, and it's coming from somebody closely that has always been affiliated with Pacquiao since his rise to fame. You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense for us to not take, you got to take what Conk says with a grain of salt. Why? Why would we? If that's what... why is he in place if we can't trust his word regarding a fighter he advises? You know what I'm saying? Let's say Al Heyman was doing interviews with people and he says, Broner, I heard he has a real deep voice. Broner versus Granados is next. Am I going to be like, oh, don't trust the advisor. He don't know what he's talking about. You see how dumb some of this sounds? But shout out to my dude, James. He left a comment and he says he's asking for 20 million because he don't want to fight Bud. The new wave is coming through and it's time for Pacquiao to get knocked out into retirement. And there's a strong chance of that. Again, I'm not saying that Pacquiao has no shot. He's still a legend. He still has power. He has speed. But I think Pacquiao's team realizes the dangers of this style. Freddie Roach is not dumb. Freddie Roach is actually pretty smart. Like when he's... See, this is the thing. A lot of trainers, they'll say this stuff when it's about their fighter. They'll say these radical things. And I bet my house on this. So you must be homeless because Cotto lost to Canelo. You know what I mean? But when you get them in a certain environment, or if it's not about their fighter or after the fight or something and the outcome's already been rendered, a lot of times they'll keep it real. And Freddie Roach did that because I was at his fight with when he was training Victor Postal for the Crawford fight. And he's like, the guy's just too damn fast. His speed bothered us, and he kept hurting my guy every time he connected. You know what I'm saying? So he has firsthand experience. His own trainer has firsthand experience with Crawford. What he does well, being in the opposite corner of Crawford, watching it that close to the ring. So he knows how dangerous Crawford is for his fighter. He knows Pacquiao. They were saying Pacquiao wasn't doing good in the Vargas camp at one point in the sparring stuff. So I think they don't want to put him in there with Crawford. And if they do, he wants top dollar, because that might be his last fight, or a fight where he doesn't look good. Very clear to see these things in the fight game. Also, like Conor McGregor and Nate Diaz. Why all of a sudden you want to fight? You fought him twice at 170. Why you want to fight him at 155 now? Right? Why is Dana White saying, oh, that's not right to put Conor in there? You seen Mildred Taylor Chavez Jr. or Sr.? What's that got to do with Conor and Nate? It was a war, but what's that got to do with them? You know what I'm saying? It's because they don't want to make these fights, period. They know Nate Diaz is a dog and he don't give a fuck. He's going to be flipping off the cameras, walking out to Tupac, and he's going to give Conor McGregor the fight of his fucking life. And if Conor can't stop him, which he hasn't been able to do 2 previous times, then it's going to be a hellacious fight where Conor, the UFC's cash cow, might not look great, might fade, might get stopped, might get submitted again. You know what I mean? Those are all realistic options. And they know that. And they know that. So they'd rather make the Eddie Alvarez fight. Same thing with Khabib Nurmagomedov. If it gets to the mat, it's going to be a difficult ass fight for Conor McGregor. So likely the cash cow will be in a different fight than those 2 fights. Very next fight, because they want to preserve that. Just like Canelo versus Liam Smith and Khan. Those are stay safe fights. Put them in there with Golovkin, David Lemieux even. You know what I mean? All more dangerous fights. And it's no different with Crawford Pacquiao. I'm keeping it real. You guys let me know what you think. Drop it in the comment section. Make sure you share the video, like the video. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video, is Ego signing off.